You're here to join us in a chat with Andy Grammer. Woohoo! So we're live streaming this, and I'm going to ask the guys to start the stream right now. So if you do ask a question, you might be live on the internet somewhere. So hey, my name's Laura Whitmore. I'm here to have a chat with Andy Grammer about his new project and a lot more. This is part of a series called Backstory, and if you'd like to see some other events we have coming up here at the Cutting Room, just go to backstoryevents.com. We have Lisa Loeb coming in on October 19th for a special Girls' Night Out. You might see some flyers around, so please check that out. We'll be live streaming that on Parade Magazine as well. So let's jump in, shall we? And I'd like to bring out the guest of honor tonight, Andy Grammer. Come on out, Andy.
Hey guys. Hey.
They don't like you much, Andy.
Thank you so much. That pizza looks so good. I was just following the guy out with the pizza, and I was like, okay, sorry.
So Andy, let's jump right in.
Okay.
Okay, I hear that you have a new album out, and you've been very secretive about it. So what can you share about your new project with us?
Yeah, it's really close to being done. We're doing all the mixes right now. Probably within the next couple weeks, I'll be finished, and it'll be released sometime this year. It's gonna be awesome. Super excited.
Before Christmas, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure before Christmas. No, honestly, it's the way that I do it is I write forever, and I just write so many. So I've written about 113 songs. I keep track of it. And so now we've whittled it down to the 12 that I think are really great. And now we're almost done closing it up. And I'm just crossing the finish line, very, very excited. So, yeah.
So does this album have your signature positive outlook, or did it go in a little bit of a different direction?
It's kind of like a goth rock twist. No, I definitely think it's a little bit more mature in that, I do have a song that I've been sharing when I play live. It's a song called The Good Parts, which, awesome. And I think that there's that kind of gets across the idea of what I think a lot of these songs are going to be about. I had my friends come over this year on my birthday. I just kind of been thinking that I missed my mother a bunch. She passed away 9 years ago. And all I wanted for my birthday was to feel close to her, and all the, I don't know why those two came together, but I had all my friends, 50 or 60 of my closest friends over, and we just told stories about my mom for 4 hours, and we ugly cried through the night. It was really great, and it was wonderful, and that's kind of, so that song, The Good Parts, was that's the good shit, right? That's the good stuff. So I tried to find as much of that as possible and just release that on this album. So I think it's going to be really good. I think you always think that, so hopefully it actually is. Yeah.
Well, I think that your first single, Give Love, is fantastic. So if that's a little taste of what's to come, then we're good. So why don't you share a little bit about that song and what the inspiration for that was?
Sure. I mean, God, it's awesome to just be able to sing that song all the time right now because the world's freaking crazy. So to get on stage or get into different situations and just give love audibly to everybody has been really, really sweet. Yeah.
And I was watching your video for that. And
yeah.
I want to know, did you come up with that idea of the multiple? Is that multiple personalities on
Yeah, kind of the idea is just the more you give, the more it multiplies and just kind of goes. There's a really cool Michel Gondry video he did with Kylie Minogue that was kind of the inspiration for it, where it's just a loop and it just keeps multiplying, things get crazier, and the band members keep getting to more of them. It's awesome.
That's some crazy technology.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you wrote a ton of songs for this, and I want to know what happens to the songs that don't go on the album. Are they in a sad song graveyard?
It's funny, sometimes this is the first time where I'm some of them are really great songs but don't necessarily fit where I'm at, so I'm starting to possibly pitch them to other people. Or there's a couple that are really great that I couldn't close totally in the time that I need to close it. So I think probably we'll release music even after this album, hopefully pretty quick. Get some more of them out. Yeah, because there's some good ones in there.
Were there some that you wrote that you were like, okay, I have a secret itch to write like a metal song, even though I know it's not going to be on the album? Is there like a secret Andy Grammer metal tune out there?
Definitely not. Metal's the only thing I don't really get. I intellectually get it because it's like really intense and like technically difficult. But I had a tour manager a while ago who, like when we were getting started, where he would, in like the van days when there's like 5 of you in a van just rolling around the whole country, and he needed to start his day every day with metal. And that was hard. It was really hard. Like you wake up and get in the car and it's like, and he needed it and we gave it to him, but it was freaking tough. Yeah. I have something called
love, right? Yeah.
something called synesthesia, which is like I associate music with colors, and metal to me is like very dark. So it's like in my brain was like just darkness going off the morning. Yeah.
So when you sing "Give Love," what color do you see?
Yeah, well, a lot of times it's the album art is usually because I try to get it right. "Give Love" to me is like oranges and reds and whites. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Usually in like colors of like 3.
Well, I was going to say that I wanted to see you singing with Metallica instead of Lady Gaga at the next Grammy Awards. Not that I have
Count me in.
I love Lady Gaga, but
Sounds
come on,
great.
Andy
Yeah.
and Metallica. That would be awesome. So can you share a little bit about the production team that you worked with on the album, or maybe some of your co-writers?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I started out being very purist about co-writing and being like, no, it's got to come direct only from me. No one else can touch it. Get away from it. This is like just my thing. And I think there's definitely a place for that. And then I wrote a song with this lady, Cara Diaguardi, who some of you guys may know. She's like an incredible songwriter. And it was like a really emotional song, and I told her, I'm like, it was about my mom again, and I was like, I'm gonna probably cry through this whole thing if we actually write a song about this. And we wrote it, and it was incredible, and it could have come from no one but me. But I had the help of like an incredible songwriter. And that opened me up to be like, okay, cool. It doesn't have to affect your point of view. It can kind of be like, if you're getting someone who's like an amazing architect at a specific thing. So you're like, I want to go make a Japanese-style house on a hill. Who is amazing at that? But I want to do it my way. And so that was really, so now I do have some of my favorite people that I go and show up with, and we write together. And I had a lot of them on this album. I brought an extra bus on my tour, and we set up a studio in the back of the bus. And so I'd go play a show and then come back, and there'd be like a couple of my favorite people there, and we'd just get into it. I'd wake up early, and we'd write all day, and it was fun and insane.
That's a fun way to tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Continue to be creative while you're out there.
Yeah.
So I've read that you draw inspiration from, 3 types of artists: guitarists like Mraz and John Mayer, and piano influences like Coldplay and The Fray, and hip hop, Kanye and Common and others. So I want to know, like, for this album, have your influences evolved? And
sure, I think for me, it's always my favorite is just the people that tell great stories. I feel like storytelling, songwriting is my favorite. So I grew up with my mom and dad played a lot of Billy Joel, which is like my favorite. I love Paul Simon, does it really well. Stevie Wonder, I would consider like my musical grandfather, because he knows how to make everybody feel happy, but it doesn't feel cheesy when he does it somehow. Like when Stevie comes on, you like smile, and it feels so good inside, but that's really hard to do. It's hard to like make everybody feel good and smile and feel positive without like being like lame after school special. And that guy does it better than anybody. So yeah, a lot of it was just trying to figure out writing 113 to get the stories that I wanted to tell, and then from that point forward, then it's having a lot. Once I get the song right, once I get the melody and the lyric to a place that it makes me feel, then the dressing up of it, I have a lot of fun with, and there's just a little more loose and light and fun.
Well, but you have like some really great grooves in your songs, so you don't start with a groove, you start with the lyric, or?
I start any possible way I can. Sometimes it's a lyric that you think is cool. Sometimes it's a guitar line that you think is cool. Sometimes it's a beat on your computer. But you're just like trying to get into something good. I call it like it's like going hunting. because you don't necessarily know that something's going to be there. So you go out every day, and if you're a good hunter, then when the big buck is there, you'll get it. And I've never been hunting, so I imagine that it's something like that. Yeah.
But nobody gets killed, okay? It's the opposite of that.
Well, it is sort of tapping into something magical, right?
Yeah.
So you got to find your way in any way that you can. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that to any other artists out in the audience, if you have the feeling that you're artistic and you've tried a bunch of times and you suck at it, it's like you're totally doing it right. Like if I could tell you that honestly, that anything great that I have ever done has always just come from persistence. And I think talent is like somewhere way down there. But never giving up and just continually going after something until it actually is good. I think that's the secret.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
So, I want to go back a little bit to some of your videos because I watched the video that you did for Fresh Eyes.
Yeah.
And can you just share the story of that song and then that video as well?
Yeah. So Fresh Eyes is kind of about rediscovering love in little moments with someone that you've been with for a while. And so we went down to Skid Row in Los Angeles, which has a huge homeless population, and we gave makeovers the day of to a couple different people, and it was so sweet. And I kind of have a really special connection to the homeless, especially in LA, because I started as a street performer, so I would be hanging out all day long, lived out there. And it's easier to just kind of walk past. We kind of get, I don't know, we get really good at it, especially in New York as well. I grew up around here, where you just walk past someone who's homeless and you don't totally know what to do. You know you're being a little bit of a dick to just be like, I can't talk to you right now, but you don't know where to put it in yourself, so you just like keep going throughout your day. But when you're performing on the street and your job is on the street and you're there for 10 hours and someone comes to talk to you, there's nowhere to go. So you just kind of hang out. And now that isn't like some annoying homeless guy, it's Dave, and he's there every day. And
You're both there every day.
Yeah, and now you and Dave are like pretty cool. And Dave gives you like little tips and stuff about like, you should get here like 15 minutes early if you want to get the McDonald's spot. I'm like, thanks, Dave. One of the best pieces of advice when I was getting my career started came from, I don't know his name, but it was a guy who was homeless, and he was like spitting, and I think he was like there's like level, and it was like pretty crazy, and he's walking by, and everybody's like keeping their distance, and I'm playing, and I'd kind of cast him off as like, you're insane, and he's walking by, and he says, he goes, you're pretty good, you're like not bad, you ain't got no hooks though. And you know when you get creative criticism that is true and like hurts? So this guy's like walking by, he's like, you ain't got no hook. I'm like, I know, I don't, that's really... and I swear to God, like I remember that. I was like, man, shit, I need hooks. Because this guy said so.
Well, you're like the hook master now,
Trying.
You owe that guy big time. I was going to ask you about, busking on the street and if you had any like crazy stories. So is there?
Yeah, it's so funny. It's just really wonderful in any form of art to do it and to share it. So it doesn't matter whether it's with 5 people that have stopped and are surprised, and you can tell that the song you wrote is now affecting them, or if it's now, I get to go do some show with a bunch more people. That it's the same thing of like, it's the act of sharing your love for something and have someone appreciate it. So it was a really, really great way to get started. And I feel like pretty much the exact same level of happy as I did then to where I am right now. I think that's just really kind of sweet. I try to go back to that often, that like, I work about as hard as I did, and I'm about as happy as I was. Yeah.
Could you make a living doing that?
Yeah.
Hard,
you can make a 21-year-old living.
So Andy's advice is if you see a musician playing on the street, like
definitely throw
him a buck.
Yeah, do it. Throw some money. They're making your day better for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So I read that you had a little girl this summer.
Oh my God. It's so funny because she's so cute. I think she's the cutest there is. I'm trying hard to not be the guy that just like shows you long videos all the time to anybody that I come in contact with. I don't have my phone, but I would freaking pull it out right now if I had it. Yeah, she's really the best. It's amazing.
So I want to know if you've written a song for her yet.
Oh yeah, totally. There's gonna be great. There's gonna be a couple really sweet songs on this next record. The ability to write downwards is like thrilling to me, and there's a bunch of words. You have kids, right?
Yeah, I do.
It's like a rebirth of life, and I found that my dictionary, like when you write a song about when you write a love song to a lady, I've done that a bunch, right? And it goes this way. And when you write a love song to your daughter, which is also a lady, and you write it down this way, it hits like an extra sweet, special, gooey center. So, I'd see these lines that like I would have said before, which would not be that special. One of the songs, which is one of my favorite songs on the next record, is a song called "Always." And if you sing the line straight across, if you sing "You and me will be always," like straight across, that's sweet. But down, that's like, oh shit, it's so good.
Oh my gosh.
And so like when she was born and she was crying, so I'd take her out and I'd put her in the little cart and we'd be walking around the hospital trying to get her to shut up. I would be singing that to her, like, you and me will be it's so sweet. It's painfully sweet. It's really awesome.
So that's great, because I was going to ask you to sing your song that you wrote for your daughter, and you did that already.
But there's like a couple, and they're all I think they're all really good.
That's going to be like the father-daughter dance song for a lot of people,
Yeah.
I think. So you grew up in a musical household, right?
Yeah,
So was it just sort of natural for you to become a musician, or did you take like a circuitous route for that?
Yeah, it's funny. The older that I get, the more I realize how lucky I was to be in the house that I grew up in. Just kind of take it for granted that you're always talking about, over the dinner table, it's like talking about the bridge of this song that's on the radio and why it's like not as good as the bridge of the other song, which I know isn't necessarily like dinner talk for everybody, but I just took it for granted. And when I would start writing songs and showing them to my mom and to my dad, they had like really, really good criticism. And my dad's an amazing children's singer. He's awesome. His name's Red Grammer. And if you have kids,
No, that's your dad.
that's my dad. He's like great, right?
Amazing. And it's very funny because when one of my kids said, "Oh my God, you want to hear Andy Grammer's new song?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, people on the feed probably can't hear this.
Well, let's freaking let him hear it then. Okay, wait. What do you have to say about my freaking awesome father?
So when one of my teenagers said to me, "Oh my gosh, you need to hear Andy Grammer's new song," and I heard it and I was like, "Wow, that's so different from Hello World. I really love it."
Hello World is also a smash. Yeah. Barnyard Boogie's a smash. Yeah, Use a Word, smash.
I forgot my question. That was so exciting. So that's interesting. So did you take music lessons as a kid, or did you just like soak it in?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I played trumpet in high school, which was super dorky and really fun. It's awesome, but it's dorky, but it's awesome. Just carrying the case around is dorky. What'd you say? Not at all. Okay. I play trumpet sometimes in my shows, and it's really fun. And then I learned. There's just like always music happening in the house. So I started writing music probably around like high school. Started writing songs and stuff for girls. If you're a guy in the audience, like the shittiest song is still so good to a girl. Like if you try to just write, like if you just write, do your best, and your best is terrible, girls still really like it.
Well, because a lot of people won't put themselves out like that.
Totally.
So
Yeah.
that's brave, But I remember my question now was, did your dad say you need hooks?
He was always really cool. He never said it. Yeah, he was always really sweet. I think the other thing that I got from him was just how a really smooth transition into understanding that we all have a purpose, and if you chase your purpose, no matter how crazy it sounds, if it's what you're supposed to do, the doors will open up for you. So my dad made a living, and he put me through college from being a children's singer. And that's another thing that I took for granted growing up, was like, it was never a thought. I didn't have to break through any like weird ways of thinking. It was just like, yeah, well, if I want to write songs, then I'll just do that, you know? Because my dad's like, I watched my dad do it, so that was really special.
Yeah, that's pretty unique. Yeah, yeah. So I saw that you went to school and you got a music business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so me too, by the way.
Oh, nice. Fantastic.
But I'm wondering if you're involved in the business side of your music, and if you have any advice for musicians today about that.
Yeah,
He's
the
like,
business
no.
side is like kind of intense. I've had to really learn that, and I appreciate. I like it. It's a whole other side of my brain. Like, you get started, it's really hard to learn anything when it doesn't affect you yet. Like, I remember in like high school, there was like a class that was like, this is how you buy a house. I'm being like, I don't care about that. Who cares about that? And then when it's time to like maybe get a house, you're like, I know someone told me this. I wasn't paying attention at all. And I think that a lot of music industry stuff happens that way. And you can kind of learn on the go. If I was giving advice to anybody who wants to make money in music, the most important thing is to come up with the thing first. So you can spend a lot of time in music industry like learning like, okay, this is, and if you want to do that and you want to help someone else, maybe like you want to be like a lawyer or you want to be a manager or something like that, then definitely learn all those things. If you want to be an artist, I think step one is creating something that anybody gives a crap about, which is really hard to do on its own. So I'm not saying don't learn that stuff, but like spend most of your time figuring out, me and my manager call it the fire. Like, make your fire first that people can see and will attract everybody to it. And that's freaking hard to do, to create a form of art that is, I always say, like when I was out on the street or when you're starting, I used to come down and play a place called the Sidewalk Cafe down here, like open mics. And in the beginning, everybody is doing you a service because you're not very good. So there's like attention to be, like they're giving you their attention because you're crappy. So they're like, we've all been in rooms where you can tell the person on stage is like not doing a service. You are doing them a service by being there. And it just takes a lot of work and effort and struggle to get your voice good enough, to get your songs good enough, to get your show good enough, to get all this good enough to where you actually flip that to where everybody in the audience is now getting a service from you. And so that to me, when you talk about like, I don't know, my brain goes, do you have advice on money? It's like, yeah, my advice is you're never going to make money until you get that. And then once you have that and money starts to come in, then go learn about how to deal with all that shit.
That's a very excellent perspective. I like that. So, you know, we're all musicians here, a lot of us. So I wanted to ask you about like your favorite guitars that you play, or some other gear that you use to write. And
oh man, so my favorite guitar to play is it's a GS Mini. I don't know if any of you guys have. It's like a small little guitar that's really great for songwriting, and it's actually like it's smaller, so it makes you feel like you're better because you can like go faster. And I carry that with me pretty much everywhere. And Taylor, I'm sponsored by Taylor, but I'm not saying that because of that. But they have been really good to me, so I play Taylor's. Yeah. And I've just started on this record playing a good bunch of electric as well. So it's awesome.
so you have to play fast to keep up with all those lyrics that you put into your songs. I want to know if you like practice saying words fast so that you can sing all those lyrics so fast.
Just like throughout the day?
Yeah.
Just like rattle off a bunch of words? No, I'm good.
So, I mean, obviously, like, we all love your song, Honey, I'm Good. And I was wondering if you'd share a little bit about the inspiration behind that song and why it's so awesome. I don't know. It's just great.
Yeah, I think that all art is trying to capture a piece of a life that we all go through and saying it in a way that hasn't been said before. And so that was just kind of, I think the reason that really worked is because everybody can relate to some degree, right? Where you choose someone to be with because you fall in love with them, and then part of staying with them is consistently choosing to be with them again, right? Which sounds like not that sexy, but it is, and you make a choice like consistently to be like, no, still this, and I know this is gonna pay off, and I love this, and this is what I'm all about. But that doesn't mean this isn't here. Like, this side is definitely here. So saying no to that consistently is something that everybody goes through. I think that's why it works so well.
And it's sort of like got a little bit of a country flair to it.
Yeah. I just need to get a hit that's bigger than that so people stop saying shit like that. So part of writing 113 songs, was that mean to you? That was not mean. That was what you just got was like a repressed thing in my life. That has nothing to do with you.
I didn't write the country
That has,
song. That was you, bro.
Has nothing to do with you. I know. So when you write 113, you go in and you're like, I'm open to anything. I'm gonna like try a bunch of different stuff. And so then out came this
like
super weird country kind of. When I was writing it, I was trying to do like the Baptist church thing, like, no. But it's still then after you add all the harmonies and you get it's like it's a freaking country. I wrote a country song. I wrote a country song. I don't have anything against country. It's just very funny. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good country song.
I think it's fantastic. And
Thank you.
didn't you do another version of it with?
Yeah, and then once it was like clearly a country song, then another country group was like, oh man, we should do a full-on country version of it. And I was like, I mean, we're here.
Bring on the banjo.
We're already here, so of course, yes.
But that's fun. I thought it was
It's
super fun.
super fun,
And it like, it broke across all genres, so
It did.
it's not like,
It did.
now Andy
I
knows
feel
a
like we're gonna have
country
to hug it
guy.
out after for what I just said. I apologize. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a big believer in putting things out into the universe. So
Great.
I want to know, who is it that Andy Grammer would love to work with? Like your one person that you wish, like, man, if I could do a project with that person, that's the one.
There's like a lot of different people that I'm super inspired by. You know who I was listening to today? I don't know if you guys know who she is or not. Her name's Emily King. She opened for Sarah Bareilles a little while back, and her stuff is so good. Go home and listen to Emily King. She's really good. So that's someone that I
Emily
would be
King.
super into. Yeah.
She's probably watching. It's on Parade. That's really cool. Well, I was going to ask you too, like, are there any young artists or up-and-coming artists that you think are awesome and inspirational? And
Yeah, who am I into right now?
Besides Emily King.
Super into all the Khalid stuff is really great. I'm like a big fan of, it's funny because for me, as a songwriter, a lot of times I'll hear stuff on like Spotify or whatever, and I'll want to know who wrote it. So when I think of like inspired people, there's like artists, but then there's a ton of writers that inspire me. Yeah.
Like?
There's a girl, Asia Whitaker, that I've gotten to write with a little bit. There's a guy named Ross Golan. And what's so blessed about the position that I'm in is I'll listen through and then I'll hear one that I think is amazing. And then I'll be like, can I write with that person? And I'm so blessed. And they're like, yes. And so I get to go meet them and hang out with them and write with them.
They send them to the bus.
Yeah. Honestly, seriously, that's what happened. It was awesome.
You got the call to the bus.
Yeah, like I go run in the morning, and then once we find out who the writer is, then my managers can send them over, and we get to hang out. And so a lot of the writers are some of my favorite.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I was wondering, speaking of songwriting, like, is there a song or two out there, not one that you wrote, although I think your writing is superb, like
Sure.
that you feel is like just a great example of an excellently written song?
Yeah, always. So the new Sam Smith song is really good. He just keeps doing it. That's like a kind of an emotional good one. One that I think is a freaking smash on like the pop thing, which she's never gotten me before, but this one got me, is the Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato is like so good. It's like the right amount of gospel with still the trap drums, so good. What else is getting me? Anything Troye Sivan does, I really, really like too. I have a wide range, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about like a classic song that you think is just like, that inspired you perhaps, like back in the day?
Classic song.
Because like this is like...
Okay, I have a really good one that you guys might not have heard,
Okay.
but I need you to go home and listen to. I went through a serious Randy Newman phase. Which might sound strange, but he's so damn good. There's a song called Losing You that if you haven't heard it, like take out your phone, freaking do it. I can't, I'll cover it. I'll learn how to cover it. But man, that song is really, really good. And it's just him and a piano, and that's like some of my favorite stuff, yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, like, what do you enjoy most about live performance? You talked about that a little bit earlier. just thinking, like, when you're up there on stage, like, what's going through your mind? Anything? Or you're just in the moment?
What I like about live performance is that it's so drastically different every single time that I do it, because it all depends on the situation that I'm in. So the difference between like going out, like right now, there's going to be, I love you so much. So this is like a setting, this is like a bike. And then tomorrow, I'm going to play a college show, and there's going to be like probably maybe, I don't know, between 2,000 or 6, or like who knows. And that's like a bigger thing. So that's like a freaking truck. You know what I mean? You have to learn how to do it differently. And then you go do like a halftime show at some football game. That's like oh man, that's like a Boeing jet. You have to figure out how to like work that.
Right.
So the vast differences in each single one and trying to be good enough at each of them is really kind of fun and interesting. And the thing of like, this is what I learned as a street performer is with art, okay is just as bad as bad. So if there's a scale of like 1 to 10, like I'm gonna play a couple songs for you afterwards, and I'm just gonna like totally throw myself under the bus. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. If it's a 6, that does nobody any good. Like I know that like I have just a couple songs up here, a little bit of your attention. Am I gonna be able to give you something that like makes the hair on your arm stand up? I don't know if I can. I'm starting to get scared, but. But as a street performer, as someone's walking by, if you don't do that, they're just not going to take out their wallet and give it to you. It has to be enough to be like, holy shit, did you see this guy? That's usually what they say. It's never like, all right, I'll give it to him. It's always like, whoa, who is this dude? And if you can get that, then you're either going or you're not going. So live performance is very much a win or not win situation. Coming from like a sports background, I played high school basketball. There's always a little bit of a jock in me. That like before I go up on stage, it's like I gotta win. I must win. Yeah.
You give yourself your pep talk.
Yeah, sure.
In the locker room.
Yeah, totally.
So it sounds like playing on the street was like the best training for a performer.
Yeah.
If you can stick it out.
I think there's like a lot of different ways to do it. You know, I've seen a couple friends who did it on YouTube. Same thing. You just put up a bunch of stuff, and then like one of your videos gets a lot, and you get to see like going back to the service. How am I? Okay, so this video switched it and actually did a service for everybody. And I think when you're developing as an artist, you have to be doing it a ton to figure out kind of like and read the audience. There was another really cool quote by Ira Glass. He says that like, it's like this video where he's explaining why you get into art. And he's like, you get into art because you have really good taste. So you can tell what's good. That's why you get into it. And then if you want to go and start creating it, you have really good taste, so you know the what you just made is like super shitty. So the only way to get what you're creating to match your taste is to do it so much. Do it and do it and do it, do it, do it, till finally you create something that's up to your taste. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So we're going to wrap up a little bit here. I'd like you to share what's coming up for you, and then we're going to take some audience questions. So think about your questions. We'll bring a mic around, so don't just shout them out. But what's coming up for you? I know this album.
Yeah.
But
right now, I think in like 3 days, I going to tour Australia, which is really cool. And it's really fun to see different parts of the world like different songs. It's like, that's fascinating. Yeah. So Fresh Eyes here did well. But over in Australia, it was like smashing on the radio and everything. It was really fun. So we're gonna go do that, and then when I get back, pretty much just like wrapping up this album and taking painstaking effort to make it totally perfect, and then releasing that. We'll go on tour next year and the whole thing. Yeah.
Are you like a total like stickler for perfection?
It's funny because in most areas of my life, I mean, ask my wife. I'm kind of details are not the most important thing, but when it comes to music, yeah, I mean that right now we're doing all the mixes of these songs, and it's like that the hi-hat has to be exactly right level, and the kick, why did the mixer do that to the kick? It sounds too flubby now. Like that is where I get super focused and intense, and then like if I had to, I could just like fall asleep on the back of like in the floor back there. So like I have different ways of caring about stuff. Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we take a couple of audience questions? We're going to have somebody come around with a mic.
Okay, I'll come around with the mic.
No, we got somebody.
Okay.
You stay up here, otherwise we won't be on camera.
Okay.
So.
Is this working?
So.
Go ahead.
So this is my third concert, and every time it's like really different. So how do you choose like which songs to do? Like, cause you said that different places the hits are different, but how do you like still choose like which songs?
So this is one thing my band gets very frustrated with me about. Is usually you come out and there's a set list, right? And you put it down. And it has all the order of the songs that you're planning to do. And usually I like to read the room, and we'll very rarely make it down the list the same way. And so there's usually I'll just start playing a new song. The band's like, oh shit. But yeah, you try to get good at reading the room and seeing what you think will work the best for this audience. In baseball, a catcher is the one that actually calls the pitches, and I think that's kind of what I do. Yeah. And also, what's your name? You're so cute.
Jagger.
Jagger? Triple cute. Awesome. That's great.
Okay, we got another question right here.
How is Lucy feeling?
Lucy is not doing so good. Lucy is my sweet, sweet French bulldog. She slipped a disc, and she was slightly paralyzed from the hind legs, but she's coming back. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be fine. My wife just sent me a video of her. This is so Los Angeles. It's really tough when you have a dog that gets hurt, because it's like super expensive, and it's a lot of time, and you have to do it. You're not gonna do it. You definitely do it. And then she's getting like water therapy. So she just sent me a video of her on a treadmill in the water with the
You need to
with
post
the song.
that video.
And she put the song on. It was like, I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna give up, I'm gonna work harder. Yeah, it was amazing. So, it's real good.
Oh my gosh, do we have another question?
Yes, over here. Mine is more of a statement than a question. I've been lucky enough to see you a bunch of times. I have been in a muster station on a cruise ship with you, and every interaction you have been just full of energy and full of positivity and full of love, and I think we're all just really, really blessed in the times that we're in. Even in just the past week, to give love in the universe, and I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's not a question, but I'll answer it. It's definitely like a two-way street. So thank you. So that, like what you just said, like genuinely filled me up. I was sitting on a plane where I don't even remember where I was going, but I had gotten up at like 3 a.m. and I hadn't slept. I was in the studio the night before, and just like so much stuff to do to try to make things great. And then you get to the airport, and for some reason they didn't have the window seat, which is a big deal because then I can't get sleep. So I'm sitting in a middle seat, and this lady comes and sits down next to me on the aisle, and I'm like, I hate the window seat because I need where am I going to put my head weight to actually fall asleep? I have it all down to a science. And I lay back, and I can see, like, in the state that I'm in, I don't really want to be recognized right now. So I'm like unhappy, and I'm like this, and you can see her starting to like get excited. And I'm just like, I don't want this right now, which is like, what an asshole. And then she proceeds to like go for it and tap me on the shoulder and tell me that she's coming to the thing that I'm gonna play at that day. And she's bringing her sister. Really, dude? She's bringing her sister who has cancer, and my music has been the stuff that's like kept her alive. So you're like, oh, jeez. So those moments that happen, even just yesterday, I played, 2 days ago, I played at this benefit, and I finished it, and it sounded like it went pretty well. And then when I was leaving, and this lady came up, and she's like, I want to tell you that my son was shot. My son was in Las Vegas, and he got shot in the back of the leg. And just something about your music tonight, like, helped me let it go. And if you get that enough, I don't know, it just genuinely keeps you like so psyched. And I spend a lot of time and energy to try and create stuff that will do that for people. So this next album is like, I'm really excited to see if it'll do it again. And it's a two-way street. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Wow. Andy Grammer for president. Although I don't know if I'd wish that on you, Andy. Let's take one more, and then we're gonna hear some music from Andy.
Hello.
So one more question.
So now that we know that you have a trumpet background, do you ever consider incorporating some jazz, New Orleans funk kind of funness into your music?
Yes.
I mean, you should totally.
Do we have a little bit of it on the next? Yeah. I mean, I've been listening to, so I think my daughter's name is Louisiana, and we call her Louie, partly because me and my wife's, one of our favorite musicians is Louis Armstrong. So, yeah, I've been, and when we knew that was going to be her name, I made a Spotify playlist with all songs that have Louisiana in it. So my whole life right now is, and I go back and I'm still just listening to it all the time, and it's all like jazz, that kind of like shuffle that they do. Yeah. So I'm sure it's going to make its way in soon. It's been rumbling around in my head too much for it not to. Yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for having a chat with us.
I mean, hold on, we have one more.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
just come up? Can you come up here? Come here. Here, hold this one second.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, what is your question? Come here.
Out of all your songs, which one is your favorite?
Ooh. Okay, I will answer.
What's her name?
Yeah, what's your name?
Darby.
Darby. Cute names here. I have like kind of a clever answer, but that's not what you want. So my favorite song is probably, so someone asked Jerry Seinfeld, who you don't know or care about, but he's a comedian, and they asked the comedian, they said, what's your favorite joke? And he said, it's kind of like asking, what's your favorite breath of air? Which is like whatever one I'm taking right now. So yeah, that's kind of like whatever song is coming out of me at that moment, that's my favorite one. Is that fair, or do you just want a song? I'll give you a song. Okay, one of my favorite songs, especially the way it's recorded, is a song called Good to Be Alive. I really like that song. Yeah. Cool. Can I have a high five?
Great song.
Booyah!
All right. Need help? You got it? Okay.
She's
All
got it.
right. All right. Well, thanks so much, Andy.
Thank you.
Let's just take a 2-second break so Andy can set up to play some songs. And when we're done, the people here, we are going to line you guys up so that you can take a quick photo with Andy. So stick around. And we'll be right back in like 2 secs.
Hey.
All right. Sweet. Let's see. Let's start chill. Okay, so when this hook comes around, if you know it, let's like all whisper sing it together. It'll be super sexy. Oh my God. Here we go. Hey. I got these fresh eyes. Never seen you before like this. My God, you're beautiful. It's like the first time when we opened the door for we got used to usual. It might seem superficial, stereotypical man, You dress up just a little and I'm and so suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe that she's mine. And now all I see is you. Fresh eyes, fresh eyes. Hey, and so suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe that she's mine. And now all I see is you. Fresh eyes, fresh eyes. Appreciation, well, it comes and it goes, but I'll ride that way with you. It's human nature to miss what's under your nose till you remind a fool. Maybe all of this is simple. My heart's unconditional, yeah. A little and I'm like, oh, damn. And so suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe that she's mine. And now all I see is you. Fresh eyes, fresh eyes. And so suddenly, yo, I can't believe that she's mine, yeah. And now all I see is you. Fresh eyes, fresh eyes. If I could bottle this up, bottle this up, I would bottle this up, bottle this up, I would. Cause you're gorgeous in this moment. If I could bottle this up, I would, yeah. And so suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe she's mine. And now all I see is you. Fresh eyes, fresh eyes. And so suddenly I'm in love with a stranger. I can't believe she's mine. And now all I see is you. Fresh eyes, fresh eyes. Ooh, 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 yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's do It's really cool because the last time I played a club like this was I don't know actually. This is a great place, by the way. I've never been here before. I'm really psyched to be here. But what I do remember doing was playing like some open mics around New York City. We'd take the train in, and I remember being very, very excited about how good it was going to go. And it was, they gave me a number because I wanted to play, and like anybody can play, but you just have to take a number. So I went and picked a number, and it was 60. If you've ever been to an open mic, that is so much bad music to sit through. So I waited, but I was still very young and excited, and I had like a joke I think I was going to tell that I had planned, and I got up there, and there was only like 61, 62, and 63 left. And I remember just like telling my joke, and they're like, I mean, come on, man. Like, I can't possibly. So if you have anything in your life where you're pushing, this one's for you. Whoa, hey, yeah, whoa, no, it's like I've been waiting on the sunset, bills on my mindset. I can't deny it, getting higher than my income's breadcrumbs. I've been trying to survive. The glow that the sun gets right around sunset helps me to realize that this is just a journey. Drop your worries, you are gonna turn out fine. Whoa, you turn out fine. I said fine. Whoa, you turn out fine. But you gotta keep your head up. Oh, you can let your head down. Hey, you gotta keep your head up. Oh, you can let your head down. Hey, Sheena, I know it's hard. I know it's hard to remember sometimes. You gotta keep your head up. Hey, and you can let your head down. Hey, hey, hey. I got my hands in my pockets, kicking these boxes. Kinda hard to watch this life go by. I'm buying into skeptics, skeptics mess with the confidence in my eyes. Seeing all the angles, thoughts get tangled. I start to compromise my life and my purpose. Is it all worth it? Am I gonna turn out fine? Whoa, you turn out fine. I said fine. Whoa, you turn out fine. But you gotta keep your head up. Oh, and you can let your head down. Hey, hey. You gotta keep your head up. Oh, you can let your head down. Hey, hey. See, now I know it's hard. No, it's hard to remember sometimes. You gotta keep your head up. Oh, you can let your head down. Hey, hey. After rain, the sun will always go. Circling out again, comes around again. I say only rainbows. After rain, the sun will always come again. And it's a circle, circling around again, comes around. But you gotta keep your head up, and you can let your head down. I think this side of the room is like, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of volume over here. I don't know what the issue is. You gotta keep your head up. You can let your head down. Hey, hey. You gotta keep your head up. Oh, when you can let your head down. Hey, hey. See, now I know it's hard, yeah. No, it's hard to remember sometimes. You gotta keep your head up, and you can let your head down. Hey, 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 yeah. I love you more. They said to do 3. Should I just do? Should I do 4? Is that cool? Okay. Hey, hey. I don't want to sound ungrateful. Okay, country songs are great. I definitely don't want to be the ungrateful dude. Like, I like this song a lot. So, it just sounds country. That's fine. Sounds good. It's been a long night here and a long night there, and these long, long legs damn near everywhere. Hold up now, you look good, I will not lie. But if you ask where I'm staying tonight, I gotta be like, oh baby, no baby, you got me all wrong, baby. My baby's already got all of my love. So nah, honey, I'm good. I can have another, but I probably should not. I got somebody at home, and if I stay, I might not leave alone. Nah, honey, I'm good. I can have another, but I probably should not. I got up and you would do to another. I will stay true. Ooh, 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 true. Ooh, 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 true. Ooh, 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 true. Now better men than me have failed, drinking from that unholy grail. Now check it out, I got her and she got me, and you got that ass, but I can't leave. I gotta be like, oh baby, nah baby, you got me all wrong, baby. My baby's already got all of my love. So nah, honey, I'm good. I can have another, but I probably should not. I got somebody at home, and if I stay, I might not leave alone. Nah, honey, I'm good. I can have another, but I probably should not. I got up and you would do to another. I will stay true. Ooh, 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 true. Ooh, 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 true. Ooh, 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 true. I say, oh, I'm sure you will make somebody's night. Oh, and oh, I assure you, sure as hell's not mine. If you know me here, say, nah, honey, I'm good. I I could have another, but I probably should not. I got somebody at home, and if I stay, I might not leave alone. Nah, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. I got up and you would do to another, I'll stay. Nah, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. I got somebody at home, and if I stay, I might not leave alone. Nah, honey, I'm good. I could have another, but I probably should not. I got up and you would do to another, I'll stay true. True. Singing out loud now, oh, 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 singing oh, 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 singing oh, 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 singing oh, 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 I will stay true, yeah. All right. Did Welshie just fall? Okay, sweet. Okay. Wait, what was your name again? Darby. This one's for Darby. See, I've been grinding so long, been trying this shit for years, and I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here, right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain, but I've been sending up prayers, something's changed. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. My dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Woo-hoo, good, good, good. Good to be alive right about now. Woo-hoo, good, good, good. Good to be alive right about now. Yo, hallelujah. Let that bassline move you, see, yeah. And it's good to be alive right about now. Woo-hoo, I was dead in the water, nobody wanted me. See, I was old news, I went cold as cold could be, so cold. But I kept throwing on cold, trying to make that fire burn. Sometimes you gotta get scars to get what you deserve. I kept moving on, and now I'm moving up. Damn, I'm feeling blessed with all this love. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. My dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Woohoo, good, good, good. Good to be alive right about now. Woohoo, good, good, good. Good to be alive right about now. Yo, hallelujah. Let that bassline move you, see, yeah. Well, it's good to be alive right about now. Woohoo, I almost can I handle it? I could get used to this. I almost can I handle it? I could get used to this, and I think I finally found mine. Right about now, woohoo, good, 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 good to be alive right about now, woohoo, good, 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 good to be alive right about now, yo, hallelujah, let that bassline move you, see, yeah, well, it's good to be alive right about now, woohoo.
Hey, thank you so much, Andy. That was fantastic. Andy Grammer. All right. All right, so thank you all for coming. We're going to bring Andy out to the front so you can line up.